It's always good doing something
Professional.
professional. Tell us. Okay.
Hey.
Woo!
Yeah,
4.
we're still going,
Yeah,
going
still
strong.
going. Going strong.
Uh,
Very well. How are you? Yeah. Just yeah. That's good. That's
Still
always good.
alive.
Still so
Yeah,
we did.
yeah.
Yep.
Ooh,
Woo!
very exciting, very exciting.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's really awesome.
It's amazing. It's really, really chuffed that, we're part of something awesome. If you had said to me a year ago I'd be on iTunes, I would laughed at you.
Yeah. Like
I'd be like,
iTunes,
"Yeah, nah."
Spotify. Amazing. It's so cool.
Let's give a round of applause to Funny Bits Boy for setting it up for us.
Woo!
Yeah, and a
Woo!
pat on the back and maybe some bits and some subs over there.
Yeah, and bits and pieces.
You go first, Steve. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh. It is. I like it when games do that. Sorry. Yeah.
I'm watching gameplay of it now.
Right. Yeah.
There's gameplay of what you're talking about. Yeah,
It's yeah, very it's a very good game to play, and I've just been reminded. Sorry, I haven't had my mic on, so I do apologise for that. So that whole 10 minutes I've just lost. I do apologise. So
Quick
yeah,
summary.
so we're there we go, pro streamer, everyone. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on from that because I want to just continue with talking about Pyre.
Mhm.
Like I said, it's a very good game. I've been playing it I played it a few times. There is no ending apparently. There's no actual ending to it. Or there
Really?
is an ending. You do get to an end. You do get to like see an ending, and I won't spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it or played it. If you play through it, you get a chance to play an ending. You meet other characters along the way. These characters are of different species. Like there is a worm character in the game as well, and his name is Sir Gilman, and he's a very it's one of those characters that you meet in the game that you'll never meet ever again. But the best way to describe Sir Gilman, if anyone's seen the film Labyrinth with David Bowie,
yeah,
you know the fox that rides the dog. Well, hello there, sir. I'm Sir Gilman.
yeah.
Yeah, he rides around.
Yeah.
That is him. That is Sir Gilman, and so they're very,
Oh,
very
cool.
charactery. Like again, there's a worm species. There's a bird species that you'll meet along the way. Again, you'll meet Jadariel's kind of species. Rookie, who is a dog, you'll meet his species. And again, Hedwyn he's the most human looking, but you'll meet his type of species as well. And there's backstories as to why they've been exiled. It's well worth a play, but it is very long, and I've put in probably about 30 hours of
Wow.
one gameplay because you can choose your paths along the way. They will ask you along the journey. You're in the wasteland throughout the game, and the wasteland consists of mountains that you'll go across, and you ride along. Oh, you ride along in this wagon. The wagon which can transform into a boat. So you go across sea, and you also at some point fly. So you'll be able to fly, and then you choose your pathway. You will be asked by a member of your team, a member of the wagon, which direction would you like to go? Would you like to go to the west, or would you like to go to the south? And depending on your choices, will also will give you a chance to pick up and forage for items. I know some items will be currency, which you can use at the slug market. The slug market is a way of buying things to help you within the right. So if you need an extra boost for your the idea is that you've got to extinguish one another's pyre, or it's a column of flame, and it has a value of, I think it starts off about 100, but you can increase your pyre to maybe 105. It gives you an extra 5% so of burning. So yeah, you've got to try and extinguish your opponent's pyre in order to win the rights. I should have explained that, and I didn't. Sorry. But yeah, it's just it's
Question.
very good. It's very fun, but like I said, there's no actual ending to it, so you can play for days on end, and you'll meet these characters. I think I picked up about 10 different characters along the way. There's another character, a shy young, very naive girl that you'll pick up, and she doesn't have a name, so you as a player, or as the reader, that's what you get called, get to choose it. And there's about 10 or 15 type, I can't remember the exact number, but you get to choose, and then once you enter that name in, that then stays throughout the game. So if you like, I think one name was like Faye, like Fae, and that's it. So like you choose, so the game remembers that, and it also, like I said at the start, it does remember what sex you chosen to be. So if you are male or female and you're playing it through, it will talk to you directly as a him or her. I just think it was a very good game, and like I said, if you've played any of their other Supergiant games, you'll know exactly where I'm coming from in terms of its aesthetics. They're all pretty much always 2D. It has like the color schemes are amazing. The color schemes I would actually compare it to is No Man's Sky. You know, when you look at the grass in some areas on No Man's Sky and it's red, and you think, oh, okay, it's new, it's alien, but yeah, it's an alien planet, so yeah, why not? Why not have red over the roads, which isn't like a horrible red, like a bloody red, but it could be a nice pink wash as well. Almost like the pastel colors that you can see behind me, those sort of colors that you can see if anyone's watching my stream, you can see those sort of colors. It's very pastel colors. It's very bold black lines, so it stands out. It doesn't hurt your eyes when you're playing it, but there's a lot of reading involved, and someone who's a bit dyslexic finds it a bit of a struggle. But I still had fun playing it, and it's great. It's a great game. It's a really good game. It's a must-have on your Supergiant list if you do already play Supergiant. If you don't, then it's worth a look at. I'm not sure how much it's worth.
Can I ask, is it a rogue like,
It's
or
an
is it
RPG
a
game with an
RPG?
element
Okay,
of sports to it.
okay, okay. It
Looks a little
sounds
bit like dodgeball.
Yeah, it's kind of like a dodgeball, with like, I suppose,
Mystical powers.
mystical powers. Yeah.
it visually looks great though. Like I love the art style.
The art style is
Supergiant
fantastic.
games always do a fantastic job of making their games look incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things that they knock out of the park is the voice acting, sound design,
Yes.
and character design and world building. They're
Yeah.
they're mastercrafts of the gaming industry right now.
Yes.
The game looks good. I might check it out when I get time. It's got far too many games to play. But it looks interesting. I like the whole in terms of like a visual novel type thing in between each right, and you get to talk to the characters and
Yeah.
areas and stuff. That's really interesting. I was just watching the gameplay because I've never seen it before, so I really
It's
don't have much to talk about.
there is also a narrator as well that comes in, and he'll tell you who you're up against just as the rights are about to start. His voice is very familiar if you've played Hades. Like, I think when you go into Hades, you go, oh, I recognise that voice. Again, it's like I was saying about how Supergiant seem to work, is that they seem to keep hold of who they like, who they've trusted in the past. So yeah.
Part of the same company.
So yeah, so they all seem to get along really well. But I really enjoyed it. It was a great look. It was great
Yeah.
when I picked it up. It came out in like 2017, and
Oh. Okay.
so it's a couple of years old. But yeah,
Yes.
I played it again last year, just to come back to it. I had it on PlayStation 4, but this is how good I thought the game was. I then bought it on Steam, so I've got it on both platforms. I didn't mind paying again just for a game that I've played. And like I said, although I've completed it once, I've done one run. I've only done one run of it. It's not a natural completion of the game. There is no ending to the game, and that's where you'll get that replayability as well coming into it. So
it's £15.49 on Steam.
On Steam, and it's well worth the price. Like I said, there's no. If you're complaining about games that don't that have a very short stories, I would go with this one. If you like the RPG element to it, and you're very much into visual novels, you're gonna love and enjoy this a lot as well. Even if you've never played Supergiant before, if you've got just if you just got a little bit of hint of I like RPGs, I like story, then yeah, you're gonna enjoy it for 15.49. I'm not trying
Yeah.
to sell the game, but yeah, I'm
No.
selling the game.
I'm selling it.
So
Awesome.
yeah, that's my highlight of the week.
Nice.
My spotlight of the week, I should say.
Fantastic.
Yes. Do you want to go next or should I?
You can go next, Beth.
Okay.
I'll be last this time.
Okay. Okay. So I will be talking about BreakWaters. Now, I did stream this yesterday. Now this game is in early. It will be releasing in early access on the 9th of December, 2021. It was going to be November the 11th, but they had to delay it a little bit. But Breakwaters is an action adventure, survival, kind of survival, open world simulator kind of thing. And basically, you can, you arrive, you're on this huge island, and well, I say island. There's lots of islands in the world because the uh this the water is basically it's kind of hard to explain, but the water in the game um changes and evolves every time you interact with it, or if a like a titan is around, it changes how the water um is affected. So basically, hang on, let me have a look at my. So basically, yeah, so there's giant titans in the world that you can eventually uh kill, I presume, and then I'm sure the water gets calmer. But yeah, it's basically like any of your survival games, like Minecraft, Valorant, not that is that what's that? Valheim, sorry, not Valorant. um, uh, what other survival games? But you get
FPS,
the idea.
Minecraft,
Yeah.
that sort of
Um,
stuff.
Craftopia. You said
Yeah.
Craftopia, and basically, um, eventually you get a boat and you get to just sail around the the giant ocean.
Sounds like
Um,
Valheim.
yeah. But yeah, you can kill, mobs, you can craft houses, you can craft weapons, you have to survive, like drink and eat. Um, it's really cool also. You can get these like yellow refined crystals that you can find around the world, and you can use them to actually move the water. So if you put it down in the middle of like a pool of water, the water will like uh like run away from it if that's a thing. It
Part
will
the
like
seas.
sorry.
Part the seas.
Yeah, part the seas. Yeah, so so you can, like have your little area and you can just
Be
it's really
Moses.
yeah, Moses basically. It's really cool how that is done. Um I will say that my PC isn't the greatest and I was having some, lag kind of issues, but I think it's not fully optimized yet. So, um, I
It's
will
one to
say
watch out
that,
for.
sorry.
It's one to watch out for then when it's
Yeah,
optimized.
100%. Currently, single player works really well on it, but when I was trying to stream it with some fellow streamers yesterday. We were trying co-op, but co-op is a no-go right now. So that's why they've delayed it because the co-op was just is not that great right now.
Broken.
Yeah, basically it's broken. So hopefully when that is fixed and it works, this game will be amazing to play with people. It just looks so fun. The graphic style looks like cartoony kind of. The water looks incredible in this game, and it just looks really fun, and just a nice survival, game that you can play with friends. I think it's going to be really good to play with friends. I just really hope they get the co-op working soon. What else? Yeah, so the big thing about this game is just how you interact with the water. Um, yeah, just the water and the Titans, really. Like the Titans are huge. Like they can be massive. Um, but yeah, it comes out in early access on the 9th of December. I recommend you pick it up. Well, wishlist it. I'd say wishlist it. You don't necessarily have to get it now because it's, in early access, but I recommend wishlisting it just to, show the developers that you've heard about the game and you're interested in it. But yeah, they're working super, super hard over there. And I recommend you at least check it out, wishlist it, and tell people about it. And yeah, I mean, I don't know really what else to say, but if you have any questions or whatever,
I was just reading the Steam features list.
yeah,
I've got the trailer running, some guy's gameplay. I don't know who it is. I just randomly typed it in on YouTube. It looks really interesting. The graphic style reminds me of World of Warcraft, very much so. The water looks effects similar to Sea of Thieves. It's got
yes,
that Sea of Thieves
yes,
effect.
yes,
It looks quite
100%.
interesting. Regardless of it's the usual fare: run around, craft stuff, kill stuff,
Yeah,
lose your stuff when you die, run back, get your body, get killed again, sort of experience. The
yes,
Titans are massive. Like I say, they're massive. They're a key feature of this game. Let me just read off the Steam page here. It says there are multiple types of Titans in the world. The most well known are the Turtle Titan, the Serpent Titan, and the Crab Titan. The Turtle Titan is difficult to damage and has deadly range attack. It roams the ocean, causes massive waves that wash over islands and carry away anything in their path. So you're going to have tsunami things to deal with from Turtle Man. So
yeah,
you're gonna that's gonna be annoying to deal with. Really. Built this really nice house, got all your food set up. Along comes Turtle Titan, dosh, all of it's gone. That's time to rage quit and uninstall. I think. But no,
yeah,
it looks really interesting. I think it's quite fun.
yeah. I just,
That's part of the joy, isn't it? It looks really interesting.
yeah,
Definitely something to wish list.
yeah, I got the opportunity. I got key and I've been getting to play it pre-launch of like early access and stuff, and I've been enjoying what it has to offer so far, and I'm excited to see what happens in the future because I do like these kind of games, and I think it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with it. I wanted to give it some attention, and you
Yeah,
know, just
definitely.
yeah,
I,
wishlist
I
it.
I hope it's better than Valheim. Valheim's disappointing. It was really good. It was so good to start off with, and this game looks like a much better Valheim.
Yeah,
It just looks like aesthetically and like how the characters. I was watching the characters run around and interact with stuff. Audio looks infinitely better. It's actually got animations. It doesn't
yeah,
doesn't get
yeah,
stuck.
It does.
You're not getting attacked from you touch one leaf on a tree, 400 mobs appear out of nowhere and just bundle you. It's just not fun. It's lost all its appeal. I hope this game is light years ahead of that. And by the looks of it, it looks like it's going to be. So
yeah.
definitely wish list, BreakWaters, wish list it now. And if they've probably
Do.
got a Twitter and all that, go and follow them over there as well.
Yeah. I can't. What's the name of the developer?
Soaring
Soaring
Pixels
Games.
games. Yeah, Soaring
Yeah.
Pixel games.
So no, no. Excuse me. Yeah. So you could probably search that up on Twitter.
Yeah, Story Pixel Games. Go and find them on Twitter and give them a follow.
Yeah. Let them know. Tell them we sent you, and maybe.
Yeah,
We'll get some keys for it, baby.
Yeah.
yeah. I'll have some
Yeah.
keys. Always
Hey.
use mine.
Hey. We're promoting your game. Hey.
Yeah,
yeah, so yeah, that's my spotlight highlight of the week. Yeah,
It does look. It does look good. It does look good. Looks awesome.
yeah.
As 3D was saying, it's like it's a lot more. It already looks tons more better than Valheim.
Yeah.
There's no boars to killing in this one, though, is there?
No,
Infinite boar hunting.
chickens.
Boars.
There's
There's a
chickens,
boar. Yeah.
Cheers,
chickens
faster
and
than the speed of
rats.
light.
Yeah, just look out for chicken and rats in this one,
So what's
and
that?
the Titans, of course.
Yum, yum, yum.
Was that called BreakWaters? Yeah. BreakWaters.
Yeah, BreakWaters.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. I've
Excellent
added it
stuff.
to my wish list.
Yeah, I did
Nice.
as well. I
Yeah.
did as well.
Beautiful. Nice. All
Right.
right.
Is it my go?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's your turn.
Hey, right. So my highlight this week, you might have seen me stream it on Sunday, is Lost Ark. I got invited to the closed beta sort of build. Well, I applied a year ago, so I didn't think I'd get invited in. But the game is pretty much an MMO RPG, very similar to New World, free to play when it comes out, and
Right.
it's basically like Diablo. Diablo meets World of Warcraft New World, and the graphical style is incredible. It is quite old. It's a South Korean RPG, ARPG that came out in 2013, and it's been around a long time. It's gone through so many redesigns, redraws, upscaling. With the modern times, modern graphics cards. It now looks as good as, I know you're probably familiar with this game, Black Desert. Are you familiar with
Oh,
the
yeah.
art style of Black Desert? It is literally like similar art style to Black Desert. The women look fantastic. The blokes look fantastic. The animation is it's incredible. It looks really complicated on the surface, but it's actually got a very simple gameplay mechanic. And you've got various classes like you do of any RPG. You've got your tanks, but you have a support class instead of outright healing. So your tanks still do stupid amounts of damage for solo play, and the support classes still do ridiculous amounts of damage for solo play. A lot of MMOs fall in that tunnel effect where the healers and support classes you can't play solo because you can't kill anything, and the tanks you can't play as because you can't kill nothing. You can't die, but you're just stranded. They're just hitting you forever, and you're just like one damage, one. It just takes forever. And so the highlight for me is there's no like top tier class system. Every class is useful and decent. There's 4-player dungeons. There's up to 10-man raids, maybe 20-man raids in the future. The game has crafting. There are also hidden dungeons as well. You can find hidden dungeons in the world. In the form of treasure maps, where you go to you have to find this location. It will say it'll have a clip of a map, and it'll have a little X there, and you got to find it. And when you go there, you find a boss. You kill a boss, and they'll give you an epic or legendary drop.
Oh.
Well, not every time, but most of the time. And the story, we get into the story. I'm just going straight into classes and stuff. The story is about the game's called Lost Arks, about these arcs of legend that was once used to seal the demons away. The demons are running rampant over the world. I forget the name of it. Some mystical nonsense, but it's quite stereotypical storyline. What's the word? Average. It's a simple good versus evil thing. But it looks really good. I've fallen in love with it. Played 10 hours or so, as much as I can, and you can see I've got a little gameplay video going on, was going through all the classes and the gameplay and how it looks and stuff. It's very visually appealing. Lots of particle
Definitely.
effects, and it
Yeah.
runs really well. Actually, it's very well optimized. You can run it on a very old machine. Then it's because the graphical engine was made back in 2013, so anything from that period of time will run the game quite well. I get 100 frames per second on maximum everything 4K settings. So and that's with like you literally get like hundreds of demons on the screen charging at you, and it's really satisfying to plow through them all with your combo moves and your special moves, and it's fully multiplayer as well. Obviously, what you expect from an MMO. It also has the one thing I don't like about it though is that the quest integration. You have to do some stuff solo. So I don't know if you're familiar with Guild Wars. Guild Wars does this. where you go to a scenario and it's solo, you can't join in, you can't help out. And the one thing I will talk about is the UI is probably the worst UI I've ever seen.
Oh,
It's so awkward. I have to use a controller and my keyboard and mouse just to navigate the millions of menus, and there's like the broken buttons that don't work. You can rebind everything, but that's mission. The controller needs optimizing. It leads me to believe it's probably going to come to consoles in the future as well, with crossplay because of how the controller is integrated into all the menu systems, but don't work properly. So you're pressing buttons and it doesn't do anything. So you got to switch the mouse and keyboard to the interface, but that's the kind of a minor gripe there because it's still not scheduled to come out properly until spring next year. It's run by Amazon Games. Picked it up because it spent 4 years in exile.
oh,
Wasn't getting developed. There's loads of Western interest, but they couldn't get the licensing or the agreement to get it produced over in the English speaking side of the West. Russian had it first, as Russian servers had it first, and then China, and then it's gone over to Europe and America, where everyone's like salivating at the mouth to get their hands on
well,
this Diablo 4 beating game. So I don't know if you're familiar with how ARPGs work. I know Steve plays Diablo 2. Is familiar with Diablo games. Are you familiar with Diablo games, Beth?
I've seen a little bit. I've
So
never played them myself though.
loot type games. So yeah, you know how
Yeah,
MMOs work, don't you?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So the loot system is the usual fare. You got legendary, ancient, epic, common, uncommon, rare. The
Okay.
one thing I will say, there's just so much to talk about. There's the NPCs. There are romanceable NPCs in this game.
Oh,
So
awesome.
it's called rapport, and you build your rapport up with these NPCs. There's female and men for whoever one you like. They all look drop dead gorgeous. The most of them have quests where you save them or interact with them in some degree. There's one quick little bit of a spoiler. There's one quest where you save the town from being burnt down by the demons, and you have to wade through literally thousands of demons to get to
That
them,
sounds
which
awesome.
is pretty awesome.
It
And
sounds awesome.
it's pretty it's yeah, it was awesome. I really enjoyed doing that with my
Mhm.
paladin. Um, but they give you gifts, rewards. There's a pet system, and the pets aren't just like a cosmetic thing. They actually have utility function where they pick up all the loot for you. They serve as a repair, auction house, bank, extra storage. A bit like Torchlight 2. If you ever played Torchlight 2, the pet system works on that. It's the same way you can send them off to sell stuff. You can store stuff. You don't have to constantly go backwards and forwards to town, and you have a massive inventory. I'm talking massive. It's not like Diablo 2. You have a tiny little backpack, and you can't pick up anything. You literally have space enough for about 4 Argos warehouses of loot in your
Damn.
in your pockets. Your hero has very deep pockets, quite literally. They can fit entire
Mary
great
Poppins.
swords, no problem. Um, just the bag of holding from this infinite bag space. Uh, there's mounts as well. There's mounts. There's a mount system. And the mounts aren't just mounts. They have utilities as well. They can do cool stuff. They can teleport. They do like special effects and and unique emotes and stuff like that. So there's little things that they've tagged on to the mounts, not to make them just like you summon it and I've got a mount. Is it you can do little cool interactions with it, and it's very interesting. But I will say this, however, although it's a free to play game, it is quite heavy in the pay to win area. So like the character slots are locked off with pay to win currency, um, expansions on the banks and stuff, cosmetic upgrades and other things like utility. That utility function I spoke about is actually locked behind a pay to win paywall, which you have to pay for every month, which is something like 150 gems, which is equivalent to like £2 or something. So it's not a lot. Yeah, it's a free to play game at the end of the day. I don't know if they have a subscription service. They probably will do. I know there's a premium pass you can pay for, which gives you everything and bonus content and bonus. There's no XP boost as far as I'm aware. There's no like loot enhancers. So there's no stuff, no cheap crap like that. It's actually a mobile game conversion to the PC. So it's
Okay.
definitely one to look out for. I know I've waffled on quite a bit about it. The one thing I will say, every class has a subclass. So I picked the warrior guy, and he has 3 subclasses. He's got paladin, berserker, and gun master. And the gun master is the tank version. He has this big, massive shield, and he has a gun the size of Texas just sitting on his arm.
Oh, that's so cool.
It does artillery fire. It looks awesome. I mean, if you can request if you can sign up to Amazon. You go to Amazon and you can sign up. You can sign up for it for the Amazon website. If you type in Lost Ark if you Google Lost Ark on Google, if you've got an Amazon account, you can sign up for the next open beta or closed beta test, and that's how I got in.
Hmm.
But I did mine like ages ago. But basically, it's going to be loads and loads of open betas, closed betas, right the way up till next year. So if you can check it out, and you're a big RPG fan, ARPG fan, you like class diversity, there's assassins, mages, priests, tanks, the usual fare. They all look awesome. And just very quickly, I know I've gone on, still going on quite a bit, still
That's
going,
fine.
still going.
That's fine.
Right, the character customization is some of the best I've seen. You can literally make your character look incredible, like Black Desert. If Black Desert has one of the best character creations, this one's right up there. Especially although some blokes might be disappointed there is no chest enlarger like in most anime games, and females as well. There's none of that here. It's all preset, so all their body types are
That's a
all
shame.
they're all the same. So they're all the same size, they're all the same height, they're all the same width, they're all the same shoulder pad size. Everyone's just generically the same size. That's the only thing I would nitpick at, is that there's no mixed races. There's no dwarves, there's no elves, there's no giants, there's no ogres, there's no orcs, there's none of that. It's just primarily humans, demons, and then
Mm.
you've got a mixture hybrid of humans, half demons, half humans, and they're called Delanes, and they're ridiculously OP, and that's how most of your characters are a Delane, and one of them can actually turn into a demon, which is
Oh,
which is
okay.
really
Oh,
cool.
okay.
Which is really cool. And there's so much I haven't covered because there's so much to talk about. Um, what I'll do is I'll do an in-depth review in the future.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that pretty much gives you the gist of what the game's about. Um, and I highly recommend that you add it to your wish list. Contact Amazon about getting into the closed and open betas, and see for yourself. And hopefully you enjoy it as much as I do.
Yeah, I'm definitely curious to try it out, and especially because it's free. I love a free game. Only when it's
It's
free, unfortunately, that means microtransactions, and I'm not a huge fan of those. But if it's not like
it's
too
purely
many,
cosmetic. It's purely cosmetic.
yeah,
The transactions.
that's
There's
not too bad
nothing.
then.
There's nothing that stops you playing the game to completion,
That's
and all the
okay.
all the content in it. It's all included in the
That's
base
good.
game. The only thing that I would say that you might need is the expansion, is the
Oh,
storage expansion and a pet. That's probably the only thing I would say you have to buy,
okay.
which is about £10. £10. I mean, it's minimal investment really.
Yeah.
But if you want to buy all the cool cosmetic stuff and look like a real weeb, then you can buy all that stuff. I mean, with the I know I've finished talking about it, with the closed beta. They gave us 40,000 in-game crystals, which is a lot, and that allowed me to bought everything in the store. So I had all the cosmetics. So I got the
Oh.
paladin looks like Diablo. It looks really cool. And then I got a Dragon Ball Z fans. I got the Nimbus Cloud as my mount. Those know what that is.
All right.
Uh, so
I
that yeah,
don't, but
Yeah.
it's pretty cool, man. It's there's loads of references and stuff in the game. It's and my gunslinger is dressed like she's got a wedding dress on. She looks ridiculous. It's just so cool. I know it sounds dumb, but she looks awesome. And I will say this, that although it might cost in-game money, it does look really good. And I'm not one for promoting microtransactions. I hate them. I think they're evil. They're a plague
yeah,
on mankind. But in terms of free-to-play games, they're kind of acceptable. So, but they're not that expensive. I think they range from £5 to £10 tops. So yeah, they're not
yeah,
like it's not like bloody Fortnite where it's 30 quid for one skin. You
yeah.
know,
That's
sod rights on it.
it's
So yeah,
terrible.
they're not too greedy as far as I'm aware. I might be
Not
wrong,
not
but
yet,
from what
but
I can see, they're not too greedy.
yeah. I hope that need need a different kind of MMO. Like that does sound really interesting, and Yeah, I just
It does, yeah.
it's free, so why not? Why not? It's free.
Free.
You know,
You said
it
someone
will
said
be free.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, you
free.
got because you had on the Steam page there is some founders packs, but I guess like you said, that there's pretty much all cosmetics. Because like if you're willing to spend like 90 quid, if you want to spend 90 quid, but it is going to go just on cosmetics. But yeah, it does. Other than choosing male or female, is there like any customization, or do you think is it been added on, or you know, like you said, you can't change any sort of sizing or anything, but
No,
is it just choose a male or female and then choose
yeah.
what?
Some classes are gender locked as well.
Yeah, okay.
So you can't be some like the assassin's only female
Oh, okay, yeah,
and the mage is only female. So you
yeah.
can't. So I
It
forgot to
is.
mention that. So the gender lock some of the classes. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And as going back to what you said about the founders pack and stuff, that basically that £90 unlocks everything in the game. So
Yeah,
it gives you all the space, all the character slots, all the mounts, all the cosmetics that then and upon release. So you get everything included, like for the lifetime of the game. So it's at least from what I was reading, that's probably wrong. I doubt it's going to be right. But it sounds when it's actually thinking about it, it sounds too good to be true. To be honest with you, it's 90 quid is probably quite a big chunk of stuff you need and a lot of stuff you don't. But there are people out there that pay that. I don't believe it, but there are even in mobile games, especially the same sort of thing. And it's like you could buy. I think I've read somewhere that someone spent like £600 on AFK Arena in one one sitting on one character just to max them out. I'm just like, what?
Not sure what just happened, but
We
my
just lost Beth.
No, I'm still here. I'm
died.
still here. I'm still here. It's just so camera went
My
off.
cameras have messed up.
Sorry, I just ruined everything. I'm sorry.
Oh no, my Streamlabs has crashed.
No.
I don't know what happened.
We're all having a little bit of difficulties on this week, unfortunately.
Technical difficulties.
These little things happen. I forgot to unmute myself right at the start of my literally right at the start.
I need to restart my my slabs. The slobs is completely balls up.
Oh, apologies. This is gonna get cut out, right? No.
No, leave it in. It's fun.
Oh, let's leave it in. Yeah.
Even my channel page suddenly decided to close itself down. Oh no, I'm back. It's
He's
back up.
No,
It's back.
He's
back is down. But it's good.
What the heck is playing on my? I got some random dude playing on my YouTube thing. What the fuck is going on there?
Get him out.
Get out of here. You're not welcome, random person. It was his fault. I blame that person who came into the YouTube video. He crashed everything. Don't know what.
Bye.
Adios.
Adios, amigo.
Okay. Sorry about that. Right, we're back.
Lost Ark. Get it. There you go. I'm done.
I actually already had it on my wish list. So before we had even because I'd already looked at this maybe a couple of weeks ago, because I think we may have even mentioned it. I might have wanted to talk about it, but never got around to doing it. I think in show 1.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions? I'll try my best to answer. Do you have any questions about
No, I just wanted to find out like the characterization of or customization of characters and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I meant to say. No. It looks, like I said, it already looks good, and I already added it to my wish list. I could see myself jumping into this when it's on release.
Yeah, me too. I think it'll be fun just to, like it looks fun. What can I say?
It does. It looks good.
You both was fine.
No putting on the spots there at the minute. No questions yet.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to go into our future releases, or do we have any news at all?
Any this week?
I didn't get a chance to get some
news
notes
sorted
together.
out.
I can quickly Google something while you guys talk about releases.
Okay, let's
Okay.
let's have a look at some releases. I did have something.
You did.
So-
You had what's it called?
there is something I wanted to actually mention. Yes, the releases.
Horizon
Outlast
Zero Dawn.
Trials. There's a new
Okay.
Outlast game coming out,
Oh,
but it
really?
does look like it's going to be
Ooh.
VR. Looking at the Red Barrel's website. So it's set in the era of the Cold War. Human guinea pigs are involuntarily recruited by the good folks of Murkoff Corporation to test advanced methods of brainwashing and mind control in a world of distrust, fear, and violence. Your morals will be challenged, your endurance tested, and your sanity crushed. All in the name of progress, science, and profit. Survive alongside friends or dare to face the experiments by yourself. So it sounds like it. Yeah, they're definitely going to be now incorporating like a co-op play.
Phasmophobia.
Yeah, I get they're trying to do
Phasma
something.
Outlast.
But it's set in the Outlast environment or in the Outlast worlds from the previous, like there was previous twos that I've played. I don't know if anyone else has played them,
I have.
but
Yeah. Well, I
it
tried.
does sound frightening. And I think, like I said, I'm going to I'll bring up this page. If you look at if you're seeing this live, you can see here like the Outlast Trials. So it looks like it's got. I think it's got VR. Maybe it looks like they're wearing head cams this time instead of like before. There was you had the cameras. It
Yeah.
looks very interesting. I don't think the second game was much compared to the first, but the first one was really good.
I will say, I feel like they're wearing like I don't know if it is VR, but I do feel like they might be wearing like those people are characters in the game,
Yeah, yeah,
and basically, and the experiment is that they've drilled these goggles to their eyes, so they're
yeah. Right,
constantly seeing through night vision,
night vision only.
like the camera, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like goggles.
I get where you're coming from. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the idea that there's co-op. So I feel like that's what they're using. So they're taking away the camera aspect and they just put you, and you're now constantly, like you said, going to be looking through the eyes of night vision goggles.
But that sounds awesome. Like a game with co-op in an Outlast environment
Environment.
sounds
Yeah.
so cool.
Um,
So cool.
Again, there's no date as yet, but it's just early days. I just see it today, literally before we set up, probably about an hour before we set up. I see it. I was like, oh, that sounds like I could talk about that for a bit because I played the first two, like I said. The first one, I think maybe a few of us have played. I know Beth, you just said you played it as well.
I've
Yeah.
looked at it.
It
And,
looked
yeah, I've not
any of yeah.
I'm not playing it. No. I'm not.
I
That's
did.
scary.
I did stream the first one when it came out. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Played it through, and
In the first one.
oh man, it's nightmare
scary.
fuel. It's nightmare fuel.
It is.
But the
It's
second one, I also did the DLC, but the second one, I didn't kind of feel for me as much. I didn't like the idea of going through that town and being chased. Oh man, they're getting chased by these things. It's like I don't know where to go, and I died so many times. It's horrible going underneath the
It-
house. It's just
Yeah,
It didn't-
it's
I don't know.
for me.
I
didn't have
I
the same
no, it didn't have the same
feel
feeling.
as the first one.
I think it was a little bit more open world as well, weren't it? The second one, it was like you felt like
Yeah.
you was more outside. You didn't feel as closed in and claustrophobic.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
that added to it. I think that added to that element of like going through that mental institute and
Yeah.
seeing things. Again, like the DLC that came along with the first one, and because that played alongside, didn't it? That played, if you remember the story without spoiling it too much, but that plays alongside. It's like
Yeah.
but yeah, I think it was good.
I'm
Yeah.
watching the trailer and it looks
But
like it's gonna
this
scare the
like,
shit
but
out of me.
yeah, but this one now going to be because it is I don't know if if already read. It is a prequel. I think it's a prequel to
Oh,
the first.
really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I didn't. It doesn't mention
Oh.
it in. I'm just going through the notes now. It doesn't mention it there, but it does. I did see it on another site prior to that. So yeah, that looks like it could be very good, very interesting. Having two people in the same game instead of just one, you're like both in it
Yeah.
together, holding each other's hands virtually.
A little
Like,
less scary, but still
probably.
terrifying.
I don't. Be interesting, wouldn't it, to
It
see
will.
how that plays out, though. So yeah,
Yeah.
that was something that caught my eye.
What's
Mhm.
the gameplay of that? So when that comes out, the gameplay trailer. I don't think
Yeah.
there isn't one I can find at the moment.
I've
It
got
looks,
there is a let's have a look. I've got to be no. Okay,
I've got the cinematic trailers which I'm playing now, but I've got no
let's go.
gameplay.
Yeah, here we go. Let's put that on. That is now from their website, Redbubba's website. There is a trailer now playing. I don't know if I can put sound on, so I've turned sound off. But yeah.
Yeah.
This looks very like you. Oh,
I
because
really
it's
enjoyed
cold.
it.
So cold water, it'd be like sort of Russia area
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah,
Oh
but
yeah,
I
the
think
tools of the trade. Oh
yeah,
man, that's all bloody. This
I
I've got to be
think
careful. I think I just got to be careful showing too much graphics, but I'm sure it'll be fine.
don't worry, they
There's
don't
no
show
sound.
anything too bad.
And there we go. That's
They
you
cut
are
away.
placing the headset over the
Yeah.
person's face there. Why is he
Yeah,
strapped
drill
into
it
the chair?
into their face.
Yeah. So
Horrible.
there we go.
Oh,
Oh, and
imagining
that's
that.
just
It's just
crazy, isn't it? Looking at
yeah.
that. So yeah, sorry to anyone's listening, but yeah, we're just the Outlast Trials.
Live
So that
reaction.
you are now running with both hands, and yeah, there's your buddy. He or she's gonna help pull you up. And no,
No,
nope,
she did.
she did. Freedom ends in 22. It says so. It looks like it will be out the end of this year, perhaps. Or I think that maybe they delayed it. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
But yeah, that looks awesome. That looks awesome fun.
it does.
And so Beth, if that comes out, do you want to join in with that?
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna
as
be
a
scared, really scared.
oh yeah, we're both going to be
but
scared silly, but that's
I'll
fine. That's the
play.
whole
I'll
point.
play. I'll play for sure.
Brilliant. Yeah, so
Let's do it.
when it comes out, we'll let you know, and I probably will stream it. Unless it's
Will do.
VR only. Hopefully it isn't.
I
I hope
don't
they
think
don't
it
go down.
will.
Hope they don't go down that road on VR only.
No.
Let other people play it. Let other people
Yeah,
experience it.
definitely.
So yeah, there we go.
I will say quickly, not
Outlast
about the.
Trials.
This is just a new release today came out. It's Forza Horizon 5
Yes.
that came out today. It's
yeah.
on the Game Pass. If so, I don't normally play racing games, but I might just play it just for something different.
I
So
downloaded that.
yeah,
I
I'm
downloaded
downloading
that.
it too.
Like
Yeah,
again, for the same reason you just said, I don't often play racing games or sports games like per se. I don't really go
yeah,
down that road. I know I covered a sporting thing in Pyre, but that's not quite the same thing.
yeah,
But no, in terms of like sport games, Forza Horizon 5, yeah, because it's on the Game Pass. It's like
yeah.
I'm
Why
not
not?
paying that. I'm not paying 80 quid for that.
Yeah,
I'll just download it for nothing.
yeah.
Can't
So
technically. It's not really for nothing, is it? We have paid for it,
You
but
pay your subscription.
subscription fee does
Yeah,
that for you, doesn't it? But yeah,
yeah,
but
but yeah, I just
hell,
wanted to let people know that it's out and
yeah.
yeah,
I'm
just
glad. No,
if
I'm
you
glad
like
you
that
mentioned it
game.
because I might
Yeah,
actually stream that on Friday just for a bit
yeah.
of a Friday sort of day
Does
stream.
it
I
have
might.
a co-op?
Yeah, I do believe it
Yeah,
does.
it
Yes,
does.
it
Yeah, it
does.
has an
Oh,
open world co-op.
we
Is
could
a,
play it
it,
if you wanted.
Yeah.
I'm trying to download it now. So
So
Yeah,
we
yeah,
can jump in on that. There we go. That's Friday stream sorted that, people.
yeah.
Come and join us. twitch.tv/funnyBitsBoy. Quick
yeah,
self-promotion there.
Self-promotion.
Why not?
why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're doing that. I'll be doing that Friday then. That sounds like that's Friday sorted
Either
out.
of you play the fourth one?
No, I
I've
didn't.
never played any of them.
I never really played any of them, to be honest. It was just like I see
Yeah,
it on Game Pass. I was like, yeah, well, might as well. I don't think
I've
I had
yeah.
Game.
played the
It looks really nice. It
sorry,
looks
Steve.
graphically awesome. Sorry.
It's one of the graphically most realistic, well, almost most realistic car games. pretty much akin to Gran Turismo back in its heyday when it was leading the charge for racing games. And the old PlayStation looked incredible on the old PlayStation systems back then. So Xbox have taken car racing, and
Yeah.
I think it's better than Gran Turismo in my opinion. Just in terms of depth and the gameplay itself, and the fact you have an open world to drive around and race in. This one's set in Mexico in number 5. As you drive around all Mexico towns, so it's all photorealistic. It's all based on real locations, real terrain, and physics and stuff will play a major part. And the 4th one was set in England actually, with
All right.
English town, English roads, English
Yeah.
English environments. There's like in Brazilian cars, Brazilian customization options, more skins and decals you can shake a stick at. Attention to details, what the Forza games are known for. I played Forza Horizon, the first one, back on the 360, and I sort of liked the game then, and then I sort of fell out of love with racing games. But the number 4 kind of got me back into it a little bit. But it's an always online game, so you log in and you're immediately playing with other people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not like you say single player, like you can play single races and stuff for challenges and what have you. It is like I got quite annoyed because I just kept getting bumped off the road by people when I was trying to just have a friendly drive down the country lane. There's some idiots and Ferrari just come along and push, and I'm halfway to the moon. There's lots of DLC packs as well. There's the
Yep.
Lego Racers was one of them. I don't know if you saw the whole Lego racing, the whole Lego world was quite interesting. I'm waiting for the Mario Kart crossover to happen.
Can you
Wait,
imagine? Obviously.
yeah, waiting for Mario Kart to go. Let's go! In this game, so it looks really good.
It does.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Chill
I was just
racing. You know.
Still
yeah.
racing where you can crash and burn together.
Just as we was
Yes.
talking, I was looking at the footage and all that, and I was looking at it. It's like because they've put it up as a 4. It's all 4K footage as well. What they're showing you as well. So yeah, if you've got, I think that only reflects if you've got a 4K TV, to be fair, or monitor. If you have, I don't think it makes much difference if you're watching it. But even so, graphically, it looks stunning, looks amazing. And I think like Beth said, really, it's just the fact that it was there and it's on Game Pass. That's the only reason I picked up. The last time I played a racing game was Project Gotham. If anyone remembers that back in the day.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Project Gotham Racing. And on
never heard of that one.
was it the 360? Brain's trying to tick off what consoles have been out, but yeah, and the idea that you was driving around and you had the radio on, you're like, yeah, you got songs that you recognise. That'll be obviously now you probably couldn't stream it. You'd have to.
No. Well, you could.
You could, but you'd have to turn the music off and just have it. I'm sure some games are actually integrating like stream elements as well, so you can actually some games. I think briefly want to just mention it, but Guardians do that because I'm not going to talk about it today, but I will get onto that another time. But Guardians of the Galaxy has a stream mode, so you can actually you don't get licensed music playing.
Yeah, you just get no music.
Yeah.
Don't they just play nothing, don't they?
No, they play an alternative. In terms of Guardians, they play alternative versions.
Very few. There's only a few sections they play alternative music. Developers have actually said they're gonna work on a completely new music package.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. So, games need to do that more, really. Like 100, because with the DMCA stuff, like they need to take that into consideration.
If they're gonna, for influencers such as ourselves who stream their games, because we're advertising their games, so that ultimately
exactly if we can't advertise it, then
exactly.
A lot of the time, not having the music available ruins the experience. It wants to play, like if you're playing a game with no talking, it's music driven, but that music is DMCA, copyrighted. You won't play it, will you? You miss out. Your audience miss out on a game that you might potentially would have enjoyed. They would have enjoyed because not governments, but corporations have to go. Give me all your money, or sue you. And pay 1 second of my soul.
It's like playing Doom without the soundtrack.
Exactly.
Oh
yeah.
no, you can't play Doom
You
without the
can't do
soundtrack.
that.
You
You
can't do
can't.
that.
Can you imagine
So
Killer Instinct without the soundtrack?
it's like, yeah, damn.
There's so many good games that have great soundtracks.
Devil May Cry. Devil May
Mhm.
Cry series.
Pyre.
Fire.
Pyre has a great
Hades.
soundtrack, doesn't it?
Hades.
Hades,
Hades
Hades
great.
has a major, yeah,
Hades
but
has a phenomenal soundtrack.
it does.
Um,
Again, Darren Core, by the way.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy, yeah, exactly.
That classic.
Yeah, like I said, I have briefly touched on the game. I haven't gone into the game enough to give my full verdict of what I think about it yet. But it's
Yeah,
early
me neither.
days, so look out for that in the future. It'll be coming up soon. Right, so yeah,
A couple of news bits.
yeah, okay.
So,
The 3D.
Just to throw a couple of tidbits in. I'm just looking up. This comes from thegamer.com. This is where I get most of my news-related things from. I'm going to talk a little bit about New World. I mentioned New World earlier, as reference to Lost Ark. Apparently, New World has lost half its player base since launch.
Saw that.
Wow.
I saw
So-
that.
So
Like 100,000 people.
just quit the game.
Wow.
It's insane.
I'm not entirely sure why. I'm reading through the news. Basically, it says Forbes reported that New World's concurrent player count around the time of its launch was just shy of 1 million players. Fast forward to now, and our concurrent peak has dropped to less than half. According to Eurogamer, New World has been losing regular players at a rate of 135,000 people per week. Not the worst thing in the world for a game with a story that comes to an end, but a worrying sign for an MMO that's supposed to keep players invested for the long haul. Yes, that is. If there's no player base, that game will die very
That's
quickly.
worrying. That's
It
very
is a little bit
worrying.
worrying because
That
it's
A lot of
we
people.
all play it. All of us play it, don't we? So
Yeah.
We
I
haven't
mean,
even got to the group content yet, so there's
no,
no play to find to do the group stuff with.
yeah.
that is very worrying, and it's because like I can't put as much time into it as I like, and I like what I've played so far, and I do want to continue on, but if player base numbers start to dwindle on any sort of game, really, that's when we all know what happens, that it
Yeah.
pretty much dies on its backside, and it's that's worrying because I thought this would be very
surprised.
I'm surprised as well because I thought it was doing really well, and clearly
Yeah.
maybe it's
It's
just
not.
dropping off. Hopefully it's just the dip, and
Yeah.
There's a reason for it.
there is.
Okay.
Their economic setup is not good for the game. New World has a pretty major economic problem. Unlike other MMOs, which usually have to figure out how to counteract rapid inflation, New World has deflation problem. The amount of currency players can earn doesn't balance all too well of what they're having to spend taxes, property, and other necessities.
Makes
So
sense.
So basically, the game's not providing enough income for the stuff you can pay out for. So you can have player housing, which is one of the key things I felt that draw me to the game. But if that's a massive task to keep, upkeep, then I could see that being a massive put off for a lot of players straight away.
Mm.
The one thing the problem I had with WoW back in the day was grinding for potions and elixirs, and I spent all my time grinding mats and farming gold to buy what I needed for raiding. That I didn't get any benefit out of it. It was just a job. It was just another job. I was just logging hours and hours wasted farming stuff. And if that's the case for you to keep your nice looking house, which you have to buy cosmetic stuff for, and you can't afford to keep it, and you've put all that time and investment in it, I can see why players are gone like, sod that. Then there's no point, because if there's no player housing to affordability, and then the economy itself. I don't know if you looked on the auction house for stuff. But some of it is so outlandishly priced.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
how
it's
do you even
crazy.
earn that sort of money?
Yeah.
It's self-destruct. They've just hit the self-destruct button already, by the looks of it, and they've got to fix that quickly. Like, I don't understand the whole taxes thing in the towns anyway. They just need to abolish that. It's unnecessary waste of gold. So where does that gold go? It doesn't go to anything. It's just there to be annoying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's just one of
basically.
the gameplay mechanics that's just like degrading the game experience. So devs, if you're listening, get rid of that.
Get
Get rid of the taxes. No one likes taxes,
Yeah,
especially in video games. Get rid
yeah.
of them, and then the
Yeah,
player
I'm
base
out.
might come back
No more.
for a little bit.
Yeah, so that's something that
Yeah,
needs to be addressed
yeah,
quickly.
yeah. So it's a sad times if you're a New Worlds player like us. It's gonna end up just be us three playing the game.
Can you imagine?
And
Yeah,
it's also for the people that have put massive amount of hours in, and like if they're not all really aware of what the situation, then they might have just built their characters up, and then they go like, for what? You know, they're going to come to an end when they go, well, now no one's playing it. It's dying on its backside. There's no other interactions because no one else is there, and that you need like in the point of an MMO is that you've got other players playing around with you. But like you said, if they don't fix that situation, then you know that's going to be game over, isn't it? So
yeah.
I feel bad for the people who haven't got a chance to play in it, and I feel bad for the people that have actually put so many hours in as well, because like they might feel that they've wasted their time. Like we haven't wasted as much time, but I want to waste time in it. I actually want to invest a bit more time in it. But
Yeah.
you know, if it comes to the point where actually you're not going to have a choice because it's gonna, you know, it's gonna die, and that's sad. That's sad to know.
It's
Actually,
very sad. Very sad.
it's very promising, but no. Yeah, that's a bit of bad, mixed feelings on that news. To be honest,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It can't always be good news,
Yeah,
right?
it's
So
not
no,
always
it
good news.
can't. It can't. It's true.
let's see what happens in the future. What else you got, Freddie?
There isn't much this week. That's probably the main
Oh,
highlight. Unless you want me to
okay.
talk about Amaranth. I don't want to talk
I,
about Amaranth. To
No,
be
that's
honest.
fine.
okay, fair enough.
Don't worry,
But,
that's fine.
yeah,
No.
she don't need mentioning. She's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I don't mean looking wise. I mean she gets away with murder. Some twat fan spent $125,000 on something. I don't know.
Yeah.
On a not safe for work NFT, whatever that means. No idea. But that's what the streamer put up a not safe for work pixel NFT of herself for bidding, and one person bought it for $125,000.
Wow.
So
That's crazy.
just get a body pillow with a printout on it. It's like 50 quid. Why bother with that? No, I don't have nothing else. That's the main highlight, really, of the week. Out of all this, it's all like superficial news, like something about Diego Maradona's been benched in FIFA 22. Who cares?
Oh,
No
I'm
one
playing
cares.
that stuff.
The other news is 15% of Mass Effect players never recruited Garrus. How in the blue balls hell did you not recruit one of the best characters ever made? Jesus Christ! Go back to Specsavers and get some new glasses, will you? I don't know how you. That's the new thing. And that's it. That's the time. That's it for news. There's nothing else.
no other news, right?
No. That's it. That's me done.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
okay.
Awesome.
Any other releases that you wanted to look at? Hey, good news! Call of Duty Vanguard's out. Anyway, moving on.
No.
Yeah, right. So there is another game that I looked at. I don't know if I want to talk about that this week actually because it's quite in depth. It hasn't got a release date, so I might not. But let's go into it because I think I've got time just to quickly look at it. It's called Scorn. It's on Steam at the moment. If you go into that Scorn, I'm going to bring up the details of this. Scorn is an atmospheric first-person horror adventure game set in a nightmarish universe of odd forms and somber tapestry. It is designed around the idea of being thrown into the world, isolated and lost inside this dreamlike world. You will explore different interconnected regions in a non-linear fashion. The unsettling environment is a character itself. It looks actually really terrifying, and it's got a kind of Doom aspect to it. Let me just bring that up.
Look at the gameplay footage. I've got some gameplay.
Yeah.
Right,
I'm going to do that as well.
Let me pronounce that properly. Gameplay footage playing on the channel right now. Please ignore what I mispronounced just then. And
it does look very Doom-esque,
it
actually.
looks very Doom. It looks awesome. It looks really good. It looks really creepy as well.
It does.
Yeah, it looks.
But
like
I looked at that was something else. I just quickly see that. I was like, it actually looks creepy as heck. It's going down different corridors.
And an Xbox exclusive.
Xbox exclusive. It is available. It will be available on Steam. So I know that's where I'm getting the footage from for myself. So.
Oh, okay, not exclusive.
But they look horrible. It looks nasty and disgusting. For
Mhm.
anyone who's watching this, it's like if you can't do it, best way to describe it is it's like a very weird sort of creepy, crawly type creatures with elongated bodies and limbs that stick out.
It's Evil Within type scenario.
Yes, Evil Within meets Doom.
Doom, yeah.
Meets Dead Space, would you say?
Dead Space, definitely. Good Dead Space vibes. Alien vibes as well.
Alien vibes, yeah. There's a lot there. There's a lot mixed in. It does look creepy as hell.
Looks like something I'm going to shit my pants in.
I don't know if I'm about to play that.
Oh, I'm just skipping ahead.
It's scary.
I'll watch Steve play it first, and then.
Yeah, definitely. This is going to be something I'm going to pick up because horror. So why not?
Yeah. And once I watch him cry it, then it might give me courage to play it myself.
So we've got a couple of horror games that I've mentioned this week. That and Outlast, but Scorn. Let's have a look at the.
What's it coming out?
Full body awareness. Oh yeah, here we go. Gameplay features. Cohesive live-in world. Scorn takes place in an open-ended world with different interconnected regions. Each region is a maze-like structure with various rooms and paths to discover. All the storytelling happens in-game with no cutscenes to distract you from the grisly reality of the breathing world you're in. So it did look a bit weird, didn't it? As you're going through those corridors, it looked like it was actually alive. The Alien had that sort of same thing, didn't it? The game won't show you any sympathy if you miss something important on your uneasy travels. Everything has a reason and purpose. You'll just need to work it out what it is. Full body awareness. Players will experience better immersion, being aware of the character's body and movement. Interactions with the world is realistic. Objects are picked up with your hands instead of just floating in midair, which is a lot of games that tend to do that. But I like that idea that you are actually interacting with it. Let's actually then go on to say there's a mature content description, but I guess we can tell that from the gameplay itself. It looks rather.
Nightmare fuel right there.
It's definitely nightmare fuel.
It is nightmare fuel looking. Let's have a quick look at that again. Let's bring that back up. Just so we can have another look.
Replay.
Yeah, let's rewatch
the so then we see him using his hand to use the elevator. It looks.
What is that thing?
I just watched him like shove his gun into some baby vagina and just blown it up. That's going to kill me for life, I think. There's Scorn, everybody. Happy nightmares.
There's Scorn. Yeah, that's it.
Sleep well.
Sleep.
Scorn bugs bite. Those
all right.
creepy baby things with vagina faces.
I don't think I've ever heard that sentence been said before, and I don't know if I'm ever going to hear that again.
When is that scheduled to come out?
They're to be decided yet. It's not actually got no date. Yeah, so, but it's from Ep Software and published by Ep Software. It's a horror adventure gore indie atmospheric, and the fact that it's an indie game as well, I think that says a lot to me as well. That stands out. So there's nothing yet.
Awesome.
Add it to your wish list. Yeah, I've done that. Add it to. Oh yeah, I got to log into that. I got to log into my. I can't need to log into my actual thing, so I'm going to turn that off so it's not showing anyone. But Scorn looks amazing.
Scorn.
Yeah, there we go. So
Nice.
that's my couple of picks that I've got for up and coming releases. So yeah, 2 horror games from me, and maybe a first person shooter. I don't know. I kind of mentioned something.
Yeah.
If you want to, if you want to look up Call of Duty, there's so many of them. I'm not going to go
Yeah.
into great details
That's
just
not.
now, but yeah.
I need to worry about that one.
Point, shoot,
It's
die,
like-
repeat.
It's
the
like,
game.
it's like, no, do you know what sprung to mind then? It was like, if you ever watched Top Gear, like James May comes out with, good news, the new Dacia's coming out. Yeah, great. So then,
Yeah,
anyway, if you...
exactly, yeah.
So, the Ferrari F55, yeah, they move on to something else. But yeah, there we go. I am the James May. I'm the James May of the podcast, everyone. Good news.
If you love COD, fair enough. But
No, I'm not taking anything away from it. I've seen it before, and I don't think
it's a one-trick pony. That game. It's go into an arena, get guns, shoot people. That's it. Hide and seek with guns. There you go. That's
Yeah.
that's COD.
That's
Hide and seek with
COD.
guns.
with an element of zombies now and again, if you like that kind of thing.
Zombies tacked on because no one buys the game unless there's zombies in it.
Yeah.
So everyone just goes on about COD zombies once they release the zombie mod out.
So
it
yeah,
hasn't-
that would be available if you're interested. It'd probably be available on Blizzard's website. Yeah.
I'm just going to quickly say that everyone is
Excuse
very
me.
disappointed with the zombies this year. Just wanted to put that out there. So COD has nothing for it this year. Well,
Point
the campaign.
proven.
Anyway, that's.
Copy and paste. There you go. Different
Oh,
skins.
dear.
Everyone wins except the people that play the game.
Yeah.
And,
Right.
I'm sorry. I hate.
All right.
It's
So yeah, that's me done for today. Has anyone got anything else they wanted to add?
Yes.
I don't have.
Yes.
I do.
Yeah.
I have one game to mention.
Go for it. Yeah, go for it.
And it's called Sifu. The third-person Bruce Lee, John Wick style game. It's coming out next year. I think it's coming out in February. I've got some gameplay playing that. It's basically how the game works is that you're a martial arts master on an epic quest, fighting loads of people for some reason. But the gameplay looks awesome. I'm not sure about the story yet. It's all a bit like hush hush, but it's very much a stylized brawler. So where you're in the. I don't know if you've seen John Wick or any martial arts type film where you've got the close in hand to hand combat when they're doing all the blocking.
Oh yeah.
Like
Right.
Jet Li, Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan type fight scenes where you're doing what, all the hand movements. Donnie Yen is one of the best ones at doing this sort of thing, and this basically puts you in the feet of a real proper martial artist. And basically, every time you die, you age. So you become like as you die, you get older and older, and eventually you die, and then you have to restart. But it looks incredible. 3D interactive environments, combos good for days, lethal moves. I don't know if you played Marvel's Punisher, where you got like environmental finishers.
Yeah.
This is going to have environmental finishers, and it's a single player game as far as I'm aware, and it looks like amazing. I mean, I think it's all motion captured as well, which adds to the realism. So it's like a realistic brawler.
Looks cool.
It looks amazing. I'm not one to be sold on gameplay and graphics alone. I like to know about the story and stuff, but I just want to go in and beat the crap out of people, man. It looks great.
I loved the aesthetics. The graphics in this looks really good. It's the kind of very sort of
Looks very satisfying
anime.
just to beat people up.
Yeah.
I can't wait. The sound design's got to be good though. You got to hear the cracks and the smacks and the bone breaks and the throwing them through wood and stuff. They've got to nail the sound design. I mean, if you throw something through wood and you hear a rubber duck go off, I mean, it's not going to be very satisfying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or you break his arm and you hear the Wilhelm meme scream.
Okay, maybe one of those would be fun.
Yeah, one of them. Yeah, you eat them off the map, throw them off elevator shaft. You hear that? That'd be quite funny.
Yeah.
But apart from that, it looks incredible, and it's definitely a must-own game. Coming out in February next
Oh,
year, so it's not far away.
And it's
It's
PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah, it is for now. I think it's going to come out on PC eventually. But it's PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5. I believe it has a free PlayStation 5 upgrade as well.
Yeah.
nice.
I think so. And yeah, I think it's about $34.99. It's going to come out as, because it's not a massive game. It sounds like my sort of cup of tea. A short, sweet action game. You can jump in, jump out, come back to whenever you want to get beaten up, and beat people up. So it's going to be a very good stress relief game. I highly would recommend anyone that owns a PlayStation to add it to their wish list and keep an eye on its development. And hopefully there'll be a demo before it comes out, so we can test it ourselves. But yeah, that's it. That's the only game I wanted to mention. Because I can't wait to be like Bruce Lee or Jackie Chan or Jet
But
Li or Johnny Yen or any other famous martial artists that I can't think the name of right now.
I was just gonna.
Steven Seagal. You
Steve,
remember
yeah.
his old like circular hand motion.
It looks like a doggy paddling. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's just backing away.
Back away.
Oh dear, no. But doesn't that? I'm sure I read somewhere that has an aging process added to it as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Is that the one that is that? Yeah. So if you don't age yourself correctly, you die. And
Wow.
I'm
yeah.
not entirely sure.
I'm not sure the full.
As far as I'm aware, the mechanic is if you die, you age.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. I knew there was something. I wasn't quite sure.
I think that's how it works. I don't know. 100%. I want hands on my head, heart. I don't know.
Hands on my head.
Yeah. I'm gonna go back to bed, man. I think that's how it works. I'm not 100% certain on that, so feel free to correct me next time we're chin wagging.
Yeah. No. I'm sure when we are. I'm sure I've read. That's what I was going to talk about, but I thought, no, I had my other Outlast, so that took over it instead. So, but yeah, but that looks very good and very interesting. Like you said, it is on PlayStation, and it's not a bad price as well. Given what it is, I would say that's very well valued.
Yeah, as long as it delivers on the gameplay.
Yeah.
Really fun. I mean, you can't trust trailers these days. You know, some gameplay, can be doctored, faked, and looking at you, Cyberpunk, and well, one day we'll have a Cyberpunk bashing session on podcast.
Yeah, of course we will.
Please let me bash it to oblivion.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, it can be misleading, and it's very infuriating for us gamers to have a trailer that looks incredible. You play the game, and it's just like a cardboard box with blockheads. Moving, falling through the floor. Yes, we don't want that. So please deliver. That's all I'm saying. Please deliver. Hopefully, it'll be a great game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay, Beth.
I don't really have anything. Of course, there's games I'm excited for, but I don't want to talk about them just yet. Just until I've
add a bit more.
Yeah, but I think next I got some games to talk about next week.
Next week. Okay, cool. Anything else? Joke of the week. You got any jokes for us this week?
Joke of
the week. God, we almost forgot that.
Okay. Right, let me. Okay.
Think about it. Right, so whilst you think about it, let me just thank everyone for joining us for being here today on the podcast. I do apologise for the first 5 minutes of the stream. It's probably on my behalf. I had my muted even, so I do apologise for that. But we managed to get away with that, I think, a little bit. So I was just speaking about, it was all you missed really was me the intro, saying hello to everybody, and a brief description of Pyre. But I think we can just glance over that, and I might be able to sort that out. I've already forgotten about it. But anyway, yes. So just before we end the stream, Beth's joke of the week.
My joke of the week. How does the ocean say hello? It waves.
Thank you, Beth. She's here all week, everybody.
I'm here all week. You're right.
Brilliant. Yeah, so that's it. That is the end of this show. I will be streaming after this show ended, but I will briefly end the stream and then restart the stream. But just for the purpose of the VODs. So I'm going to end the stream as soon as we've all said our goodbyes. But then I will be back again. We'll be doing some deep rock.
Yeah.
With 3D. Hopefully, fingers crossed that's going to work.
We can get it to work, yeah.
But yeah, and Beth, you're going to be streaming as well.
Just might as well do where we're going to be.
Yeah,
do your thing. Say it.
So yeah, thanks very much for everyone for joining me today. Thanks for everyone who was watching. As always, if you want to check out the podcasts, you can now find them over on iTunes. That's the Funny Bits Boy is the name, and the name of the podcast is the Bits and Pieces podcast. Also, we're on Spotify. Again, I'd be very aware that there are a few Bits and Pieces podcasts out there, so just check out the name Funny Bits Boy. You should be able to find us easily. We're also on Audible and Amazon Music, as well as SoundCloud. So if you want to check those out, feel free to leave any reviews or just rate us, get people to follow us, because we much appreciate anyone who comes by and listens to us.
Yeah,
so we're not just live streaming on Twitch, but we also got our own respective channels, and those channels are, Beth, take it away.
So twitch.tv/PizzaBeth. I will be playing I'll be doing a short stream today, playing BreakWaters, and I'll probably be playing that quite a lot in the next couple of days, to be honest. So if you're interested in seeing some gameplay of that, come check my channel out, really. And yeah, that's
And 3D.
Yeah, you'll find me at www.twitch.tv 3D show. And this week I stream on Thursdays and Saturdays and Tuesdays. On Thursday and Saturday, I'm going to be finishing House of Ashes. Going to be finished.
Nice.
And then after that, we're going to move on to maybe some Yakuza next week to break from the horror chaos we dive into all the time. So come and give me a follow. It'd be greatly appreciated. So thank you and see you later.
Yep. Thanks. Yeah, that's it. Again, thank you very much for being here. And I will be here on Friday streaming on twitch.tv/FunnyBitsBoy. We'll be playing some Forza Horizon 5.
I forgot to mention that, but yeah.
We actually, I think maybe we'll all be joining us for that as well. So we will be all streaming respectively, I guess. So yeah, just big shout outs to you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you, Freddie. Thank you, Beth. As always, I will see you again next Tuesday at 9.
Bye-bye.
Till next time. Bye-bye.
Yeah.